Previously on Everyday Projects. No, not that far back. Just last week. Okay, you can see here the voltage is counting down there, but you can see it just sort of repeats itself. It's got a battery symbol here. It gives me an E2 error code. It shows 15 volts. The voltage is too high. The system is designed to run at 12 volts, not 15. So right at the 11th hour here, we're faced with this problem with the voltage. Okay, so what I've done is I've gone on Amazon and I've ordered this transformer. That leaves me in the cold here for another few days until that gets here, and it leaves you hanging on the edge of a cliff waiting to see if this thing's going to work. And this happened at the last minute, and I'm sorry to leave you like that, but... Okay, so this is what I ordered. Okay, so here's the unit. There's a little switch on the side here. It's marked 110 or 220. Make sure you're on the right voltage. So this one's already pre-selected to 110 volts. And here's the input and the output right on the front here. So line, neutral, ground, and then here's your 12 volts out. There's 3 terminals for positive and 3 for the negative on the way out of there. Okay. There's also voltage adjustment. There's a little screw head down in there, fine-tuning the voltage. Hopefully it's adjusted good enough for what we need. Okay, that's it. Okay, so I've just made up a very simple bracket. So I'm going to be able to screw that down to the floor inside that compartment. And I'm going to mount this little transformer on it here like this. Wouldn't you know it, I just don't quite have enough wire to make it the way I want it here. So I'm putting a junction box in. I'm splicing in about 3 feet more of this cable. That's all I have, so that's how I'm doing it. And just roll those into the box like that. Good. I'll mount that in there and put a cover on it. Okay, so I've got enough slack in my cable to bring it across the ceiling of this compartment, bring it down, and tuck it in here. So there's a little plastic cover that lifts up on here. Just pops up out of the way like that. See? Like that. All right, so our ground is here. Line and neutral, so black, white, and the bare copper. Okay, I'm going to hook positive voltage there and go to the first COM for the black, like that. Okay, so I brought them through a little hole in the plywood. Pull those wires back a little bit. All right, so we've got our positive up in here on the first terminal for positive, and then we've got the first terminal for negative right here. We've got those two hooked up. We can close that little plastic cover now, like that. All right. Yeah, that looks okay. And so we've got our fuse holder on the other side. I'm just going to put a staple on it and hold it right like that. Okay, so I've got the power turned off to the RV. And remember, we put power in here last week into the 12 volt side, but the voltage wasn't right. So now, because we're going to run a transformer, we have to move that wire over onto one of these breakers. So we're going to be using 110 going down to that transformer, and then that's going to convert it down to 12 volts DC for us. So we got to move that cable over to, I think we're going to use the AC one, because the rooftop AC in this particular trailer doesn't work. And I've got a window air conditioner, believe it or not. So I'm going to use that breaker right there. All right, let's move this over. So that's it there, the number 12 wire we put in the back for the 12 volt side, and we're just going to have to move it over to here. Okay, just going to strip back this neutral. Okay, left it out like that. I've got the ground here, so we have a ground bus at the top. So we can shorten that a little bit. So we have a spot up here for the ground, so we'll put that up in there. Tighten that down. Okay, and then For the neutral, looks like we got a spot right on the end here. Put that in there. And then the only thing left to do now is put this one on the breaker. Okay. And that's going to go on this end one here. This is a duplex breaker, so there's two different circuits in one breaker. Okay, so we have our cable coming in the back. We have our ground going up here to the ground bus. We got our neutral to the neutral bus. And we've got the hot wire going through this 20 amp breaker right here. Okay, here's that one from the AC. I'm just going to blank it off like this, and I got a little tag made up for it. I'm just tagging it rooftop AC in case we ever need that wire again, which we probably will. Okay, so we're just going to tuck that in out of the way. All right. Everything else looks good. Okay. Okay, so this is the exhaust pipe that comes with the unit. It's only about 1.5 feet long. And I bought one here that's about maybe 4.5 feet long or so. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap it out. I'm going to put this one on right from the heater out. At first I was going to try and join it here, but I'm just going to take this one out, put this one in place of it, and I can run the exhaust down here to the corner of the trailer. Okay, I just hooked my fuel line up here. And we're going to bring that plate in. Okay. All right. In that little gap right there, see? Okay. It's our intake air. And we're going to bend this pipe over that way. Okay, so I've got that exhaust running out through the plate, and then I've just suspended it here, and I put the muffler on it, and I've got it just on a piece of pipe like that, stuck in the back of the bumper. That's just an experiment for now. I'm going to see if it's maybe too long. If I've got too much back pressure, I'll change it, but before I bolt it down permanently, that's where it's going to be. And I think that's going to be far enough away from everything. I do have some heat wrap for it if it comes to that, but like I say, we're still in sort of the trial phase of this thing. So anyway, that's how we're going to have it to start it up. Fuel line is cinched down once there. I think it's okay. All right, let's first things first, let's go in and see if we can get that pump bled. Okay, power on. And there we have 12 volts. Very good. All right, we're going to go through the bleeding process for the pump. Okay, I'm going to just go in and press the buttons to prime this, and you can see the fuel start to come up in the bowl. Okay, I hear the purge cycle. I think it's starting up slowly. The exhaust is starting to get subtly warm. Barely hear that pump ticking. See it pulsing in the glass there a little bit. Okay, so it's reading H3, so that's heating level 3. I guess it goes to, I don't know, does it go to 5 or 10? I'm not sure, but I haven't figured that out yet, but it's on heating level 3. If I go here, it'll go up to heating level 4. So heating level 3, back to 3. See, this shows the pump is on. It shows hot air is moving. This shows something to do with the level of the fan. I haven't figured it out yet at all, but it is working. That's blowing nice warm air in here. And there's the air intake. I can feel that's taking air. Let's take a look in here. It's not that loud. Yeah. That trunking's nice and warm. Almost too hot to put my hand on, that trunking. So I'm looking over there underneath the heater. I don't see any leaks. There's a little bit of a smell. You know, I guess anything that's brand new and heats up, it's going to smell a little bit first. But the other thing that's very important if you have a diesel heater is to make sure you have a carbon monoxide detector. Okay, this is a carbon monoxide detector and a gas detector, propane. I've got it mounted low because propane is often close to the floor. But this is about 8 feet away from the discharge from that furnace. And so far, it's not set off the carbon monoxide alarm. But make sure you have one. If you're going to burn any type of fuel in a trailer of any kind or a house, have yourself a carbon monoxide detector. They're not that expensive anymore. They're good to have. Heating really nice. It's very, almost too hot to put my hand in front of it there. I can't hold my hand there. It's too hot. I can hold my hand maybe 6 or 8 inches out from here. That's about it. I'll learn more about it and I'll post more as I learn, but for now that's a fix. We've got it going. Thanks for watching. Put your comments down below and give us a thumbs up for this type of content, and please subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you again here very soon on Everyday Projects. Bye for now.